everyone. Melissa Brannon with Startup Prize, Focus on Health, and we are back for another Founder Spotlight. I am very excited today to have Joshua Upshaw with us from Hidalga. Uh, Joshua, welcome.
Thanks, Melissa. Appreciate you
Yeah,
bringing me
we're
on.
excited. I know. Well, it's interesting because we got to hang out back in June when you were here for a qualifier, but I know that
Yes, we did.
in 6 months, a lot can change. So before we kind of hear what's been going on, why don't you give everyone like a really quick introduction? Who are you? Where are you? And what is Hidalga doing these days? Like
Of
what are
course.
y'all out up to? What's your problem are you solving?
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. So, hi, everyone. I'm Joshua Upshaw, founder and CEO of Hidalga Technologies, and we are located in Northwest Arkansas. So, I live in Fayetteville now. Company is based in Springdale, and just to our north is a region that is popular for a very large consumer-based product company. I won't say any names, but it's in Bentonville, Arkansas. I can say that much, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
sure.
it's a great place to live, and it's growing quickly. And the number of individuals needing healthcare in our area is also growing quickly. And so we're creating a software called Hidalga that is a platform that helps to optimize the administrative workflow process. So, submitting insurance paperwork from a clinic to an insurance provider that help them do that more quickly and more accurately so they can avoid any downstream delays and ensure that the clinics and people that work in the clinics get paid faster. You can think, somebody with 6 months to live, maybe they get that cancer diagnosis. It's terrible to feel that. It's very scary. We want to take that fear away from the patients. We want to help the clinics be able to get the care that those patients need as soon as possible.
I love
And so,
that.
over the past 6 months since Startup Prize, which was the most fun competition that I've been to in a while, and frankly, I wish it happened more frequently. Um, if you haven't been, please go. So we were walking on eggshells there for a while between the Startup Prize competition or the event that we went to
Mhm.
and our NSF SBIR Phase One award. We didn't know for sure, how things were looking with the government and the grant situation. And we're like, I don't know, it's should come in a couple of months, maybe. It's like, okay, I can bank on that, right? I just finished my PhD, working full time now for the company, didn't have any source of income. I was like, my savings are running out and I still need to pay rent in a couple of months. So hopefully things work out. And fortunately, it did. It came through in October. And so we have been really building out the technical feasibility of the software itself, onboarding different developers and other supporting roles to get this to the point where we can offer it to clinics more broadly, branching out across the country into different operations to help as many patients as possible.
So, was your background in this area? I mean, have you been on the clinical side of things, or how did you kind of, I guess, how did the problem, why are you so passionate about solving this problem? Maybe that's the better question.
I love that question. And I feel like I unintentionally set myself up for it every time during these conversations. Um, uh, so in 2019, my stepfather passed from esophageal cancer. He had had that condition for 4 years, and it was just a miserable journey, hit
Mm.
for him physically, psychologically, for the family, emotionally. But one of the biggest barriers that we faced during that process was the administrative effort and skill set required to smoothly navigate the financial and insurance and payment process without being hit with huge medical bills at the end of all of that. So it was difficult and painful in a lot of ways. And the biggest kicker is that treatment was available for him during the time frame, but the clinics weren't able to deliver it because there is a financial piece that's always at play. It doesn't matter how amazing the drug is, it doesn't matter how incredible the medical equipment is. If no one can afford it or cannot access it, it makes no difference at all in lives. And so after that experience, during the course of my PhD program, I started dipping my toes into the entrepreneurial world. I've always loved efficiency, and I've always loved working with giant sets of data to understand patterns. And so my background is in cognitive neuroscience, and so I use EEG to study what the electrical numbers coming from our brain cells in our mind are
Hmm.
telling us, and that's all data points. That data is so messy and complicated that no one can know what to do with it unless you spend years learning how to analyze and process. And so I thought about my skills in that area and how I could apply that to solving a real world problem that I had experienced and that I've come to find that many other people are experiencing still today, to clean up some of the data to be able to predict what is leading to these inefficiencies in clinics with the administrative process, with the insurance payers, with the patients and their education and skill sets and background, to get a more streamlined flow of diagnosis, treatment, payment, rinse and repeat, so that they can get to that recovery and ring the bell, which is the Hidalga logo, faster.
Oh my gosh. Forgive me. I'm just seeing the little bell over the A. I love that. That's so nice. Yeah, I can see that. And, I think unfortunately almost everyone has probably someone in their life that is struggling with this, whether it's a family member, a friend, an acquaintance, a coworker. So to be offering maybe a clearer path, or at least a path that's less fraught with like those scary bills that are unexpected, and kind of getting through that process. You're right. It's like taking away some of the stress around the financial so you can really focus on the care that needs to be received.
100%. You said it well.
Oh, thank you. So I'm wondering maybe if you could tell people a little bit about your startup prize experience. You said you were here in June, you came in for our in-person qualifier. Were there things about the experience that kind of helped maybe set you on a path or clarified things for you? And maybe like, are there folks that you still keep in touch with that you met at Startup Prize?
Oh, yes, so much so. Um, to start, everyone is so friendly, nice. It was the same thing, but it was an enjoyable competition. I've been to many competitions where it's very high stakes or high pressure feeling. My stress is through the roof. You know, I'm traveling a lot and trying to figure everything out. With the startup prize, it was basically going down to hang out with the family and friends and do something that didn't stress me out so much, but still connected me with individuals in my space that had knowledge, that had been through um, the ringer, so to speak, of the path that I'm taking to learn from and grow from in that more collegial and just open environment. So during that time frame of waiting on that NSF grant to come through, I was applying for an NIH SBIR phase one grant, and it was a resubmission from our April submission. We had gotten
Mhm.
some feedback from NIH saying, "Hey, this is pretty good, but there's some gaps here to address." And so I went forward to address those. And this was after the startup prize, where I met many mentors, advisors, experts in specialty pharmacy, in the payer space, in the healthcare investment space, that I still today am in contact with and used for advisory support to basically serve as expert consultants to support the quality of that grant resubmission. And it is leaps and bounds above where it was.
Oh,
So
that's
not,
awesome.
yeah, not only do they provide that amazing expertise, but also really just amazing people to connect with and have, on my in my network, be able to say, "Hey, I'm having an issue here. What do you think? Or have you experienced something like this?" Um, it is often very lonely and isolated feeling to be a founder in this role, and so having that, you know, uh, that Rolodex of individuals to turn to is priceless for me.
I love that. I mean, we talk about it a lot. I mean, yes, you Rolodex. We sometimes say like about like a kind of a community where, as a founder, you kind of find these your fellow founders who you can kind of commiserate with, maybe battle test ideas with, that are kind of going through the same thing. So I love that you found that experience here as well. And I love that you got some good advice. It's funny, we always talk about like, oh, what's the best piece of advice? But I figured I'd throw you a little bit of a curveball today, Joshua, and ask maybe what is the worst advice you ever got, and why?
Yeah, worst advice. So I would say that um, there's a lot of advice that people have for founders, and I seek it out, you know, constantly. I have to. I don't know everything, and I have to learn how to do everything, it seems. But everyone's got a different idea of the best way to do those different things. So there's a lot of parsing through the weeds, so to speak, figuring out, okay, what is actually best for me as a person? What can I do? What can I manage best? Um, and I often have to lean into, okay, how does this feel to lean into this advice or to lean away from this advice? Um, and if it feels like a struggle to try and take that advice and work with it, then it's probably not great advice. And so this is something that has stuck with me. Um, when it comes to establishing partnerships with you know potential clients or future customers or so on and so forth, to really not overcomplicate things too much at the early stages because life is complicated enough already, especially for people that are very busy and have a lot of projects going on
Right.
and are trying to save lives. They making things too complicated early on is kind of a death sentence in a lot of ways. And so, uh, while it is nice to make sure all of the ducks are in a row, that all of the anxiety is put at bay because you've perfected this 20-page long legal agreement. um, Sometimes that's going to backfire and things are not going to be received as well as you think they will. So
Yeah.
take things slow, build those relationships, and things will kind of progress naturally. Um, and if not, at least they'll go faster, and then you can learn and move quicker.
Right. Well, what's next for you guys? You've got funding is starting to come in, which is congrats. I know that that was kind of like, oh, when it will it, won't it, and when. What's next on the horizon for you? What is this funding going to allow you to do? And even bigger, how can we help?
Course, yeah. So over the next 12 months, we're aiming to expand from 3 to 5 clinic pilot tests outwards to reaching 10 clinics that are using our technology, collecting data, making sure it's working, offering value to them, to their staff members, to their patients, and improving the flow of data in clinics. And so for us, we are pursuing an investment stage round in early, I would say 2026, probably towards the end of Q1. We're getting a lot of our ducks in a row to start that initial pre-seed raise. And so if you know of any interested investors that are within the healthcare oncology revenue cycle space that might have insights and can kind of go along with us on this journey to build an amazing product for a lot of value, we would love connections there. Or if you know of any interested clinics that are hoping to optimize some of their workflows and manage their growing patient volumes a bit more effectively over time, we'd love to connect and chat and see if we might be able to offer value to those individuals as well.
I love that. All right, so now let's flip it. Any of last words of advice from you to your fellow founders? I mean, I know you've kind of thrown some things out there or encouragement. Anything else you'd like to throw out there
Yes,
for folks?
I would love to. Um, 3 things. Always remember your why when things get hard. Go back to that and ask yourself, is that still enough to continue? 2, use motivational podcasts, things to like bring in the positivity. There's a lot of stress, a lot of work, a lot of negativity, a lot of rejection, failure, etc., that can come about. You need to balance that, or I need to balance that with that positive affirmation. I've got some great podcasts on Spotify. Please reach out to me. I'd be happy to share those with you. And it changes my entire day and week around, frankly. And then the third thing is make sure you have people around you that are funny and like to laugh because they're my business partner, for example. He's a very funny guy. He's got great stories. He brings so much levity to our partnership that honestly is what I lean to a lot to help keep me going when things are difficult. And they're pretty much difficult all the time. So I highly encourage keep your people close. It's important
I
now
love
and forever.
Yeah, that's great advice. Yeah, there are people, I mean, it's the connections really at the end of the day too that really make things possible. Well, Joshua, it's been awesome catching up. I love hearing that things are moving in the right direction. We wish you the best of luck. And do you think we could maybe do a little Viva La Startup Prize on our way out?
Oh, you got it.
All right, on the count of three. One, two, three. Viva
Viva la
La
Star
Startup
Prize!
Prize!
Oh,
Awesome. We'll see y'all next time. Thanks again, Joshua, and best of luck
of
to you.
course. Of course. Thank you so much, Melissa. Talk soon.